Yarnie friends. I do have a little bit of a scratchy voice today. My allergies have been wreaking havoc with me again. They stopped bothering me. Then the weather changed and got really windy. And they're bothering me again. They need to stop bothering me. Well, hello everybody. I'm Sara, Sach, and welcome to Coffee and Crochet live video chat here on YouTube, or I should say podcast here on YouTube. In case you don't know, we try to have one of these every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that a lot of people, when they do their live videos, after the live video is done, they just delete it. Well, I don't do that. I like to leave them on there because it gives you a chance. People who don't have time at that particular time, 10:30 Central Time on Tuesday mornings, may not have time to watch it. Or they're working, or their schedule just doesn't fit in. They run in kids here and there and everywhere. And so that gives you opportunity to watch it whenever you have time. And I really, really appreciate that when you do. All right. It also helps with those who want to be involved in our giveaways. And I'm going to announce the winner of the March giveaway today. Okay? Before we do that, I want to wish you a happy first day of spring. I decided to wear something springy. I've even got some springy earrings on. And I went outside and it was like 45 degrees. I'm like, come on. Actually, that's not too bad. It'll warm up this afternoon. But it was kind of breezy and cold. And all of a sudden my nose started running and my throat got scratchy. So we have these Bradford pear trees here that drive me crazy. And I forgot, because we didn't have them in Colorado. After we moved back here to Oklahoma, I remembered, oh, those crazy Bradford trees. They're Bradford pear trees that don't grow pears. They grow beautiful white blossoms, and they mess with my sinuses. All right, so it's the first day of spring, and it's time to clinkety clink clink in. What's everybody drinking today? I've got some coffee. It is just the Aldi coffee that I like. I put a little bit of the sugar-free French vanilla creamer in it. I am out of my Irish one, and I never did find the sugar-free Twix one. It was all over Facebook. It was all over Twitter, or I should say X. But I never found it. I went to several different stores, and I never found it. And I thought, oh my goodness, I wish some of these companies would do more for us with diabetes, more flavors of things and more thoughtful things. And I know it's hard to make sugar-free things. I'm not complaining. I just wish they did more. Because, I've given up sugar. I've given up carbs, most carbs. But I am not going to give up my coffee. Okay, people? I am not going to do it. So, clinkety, clink, clink with my good coffee. Now, I've tried to limit myself to just 2 cups of coffee in the morning. And then a lot of times in the afternoon, late afternoon, before I start making dinner, I'll sit down with a cup of coffee and watch the news. A lot of people can't do that because coffee keeps them up at night, but not me. Coffee relaxes me. It was always that way with my son as well. It's probably because when I was growing up, they had never heard of ADHD. And I'm sure that I was, because I was very talkative. I was always moving around. I always had to have my hands busy. And my son was the same way. So, anywho, little too much information there, huh? Also, before I give the announce of the winner of our giveaway, I'm going to give a few more people a little bit of time to get in here. I've been trying to do some shout outs. And I've been a little bit kind of saddened because some YouTube channels that I used to watch have disappeared. Not only are they not, excuse me, not only have some of these not made any new videos lately, but it's like it's gone and I don't know what happened. Okay, and I love doing shout outs. To me, it's so important to encourage each other in what we do, because YouTube can be a very scary place. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. There's unkindness and rudeness and other things that happen that I just don't appreciate. And so that's why I try to encourage other YouTubers that have crochet and craft and knitting channels to try to encourage each other. Okay. So this is one that I hadn't watched in a while and I forgot, and she happened to pop up today. And this is, some of you probably have watched some of her videos. Her name is Pamela. She does Pamela's Adoring Crochet. And the reason that I really like her channel is she does a lot of doll clothes for, I think, 14-inch and 18-inch dolls. And she has a lot of patterns on Etsy and Ravelry. I don't know if they're on Ravelry or not now that I think about it. I think they might just be on Etsy. I'm not sure. But you can go to her channel. She can, underneath her video, it will tell you. But she does a lot of really cute stuff, and she's a lot of fun. She's really real, Like I've said in the past, it's so important to me that I tell you about other YouTubers that are real. They're just real. They're not trying to act. None of this crazy AI nonsense. It's just real people like me out there doing the best we can to encourage each other. Okay? Right, I use Coffee Mate Zero Sugar. That's what this is. I can't do the cinnamon because I'm allergic to cinnamon, but I do use some of their other zero ones. It was actually Coffee Mate that was supposed to be doing the Twix creamer that was zero sugar, but I never found it. So anywho, all right, it's time to announce the winner. Let's recall again what the giveaway is. And it's this Annie's kit. It comes with 3 skeins of yarn that are medium weight number 4. I was looking to see if they gave me a color on here, but it's 80% acrylic, 20% polyester, 3.5 ounces, 170 yards per, and there's 3 of them. You also get this pattern to make. Let me pull that out of there so you can see it. A pocket shawl, pocket scarf, not shawl. Super cute. And another thing to remember, this is a really great yarn. If you get this and you're like, I don't really want to make that, you can make something else with it. You don't have to make what comes with it. It just comes with it. It's because it's a kit. All right. And I did open it so that I could show you the yarn because it's hard to see it through the plastic. Okay. So you're going to get these 3 skeins of yarn in this kit. It also has the pattern. And then you're also going to get one of our canvas zipped Coffee and Crochet on one side, the crochet, it's not a ball yarn, it's a heart, with the crochet hook. And this has a little hook on it so that you can hook it onto your craft bag, okay, or your project bag. Okay, that's what the winner's going to get for March. Are you ready? Let me find, oh, sure, I wrote her name really tiny. Okay, you ready? I see you're already doing the drum roll, Kim and Heidi. Thank you. Okay, the winner is Carlena Shear. C-A-R-L-E-N-A, Carlena Shear, S-C-H-E-E-R. Congratulations. Now, just a reminder, never, ever, 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 and I can't stress this enough, ever, put your email address, your shipping address, your phone number, any personal information, ever in a comment ever that's public, okay? So, to contact me, I will not chase you down. You need to contact me, and you can do that 2 ways. Underneath this video, there is a link that says website, and there's a link there. Click that link, and then up in the corner, there is a tab that says contact us. You click that tab, and it'll shoot right over to my email. The other way you can contact me is if you go to Facebook, go to Posh Pooch Designs, because that is my business Facebook page, and send me a message. If you try to contact me through my personal page, I will not see it, because unless we're friends, I have that closed off. Because I was getting so much nonsense and spam that I turned it off. Okay? So, the winner is Carlena, C-A-R-L-E-N-A, Shear, S-C-H-E-E-R. Congratulations. please contact me. And if you contact me the next couple of days, I will get it out on Friday when I go out and do a bunch of other errands, okay? Alrighty, congratulations. That's a really great kit. I kind of wanted to keep it for myself. And this is another one of those kits that was donated by Angela Wagoner, okay? All right, I'm going to set that down. Now, I know a lot of you probably have been seeing the news articles on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram about Joann craft stores. Okay, so I did some investigative work today, and from what I can read, you know, because I'm only hearing the same rumors that you're hearing. They did close a couple of stores. They are filing bankruptcy. This is Joann craft stores. I hate to see another craft store where we buy yarn close. And but from what I understand, they're going to be filing bankruptcy, and that doesn't mean you're going to close all your stores. It means you just have to whittle down. And it seems to be, from what I was reading, is it's what happened after COVID. And people have stopped shopping in a lot of stores now. They're doing a lot of stuff online. And when it comes to yarn, a lot of people don't really like to buy yarn unless they can go in and touch it. And I get that. But I did a quick run over to my Joann's. Now, my Joann's is about 40 minutes away from me. I did pick some things up, and I'm going to show you what I picked up. But don't go in panic mode yet, okay? The best thing that you can do is go into your local Joann's and just talk to them. Ask them, are you closing? Please don't close. You can also contact them if you go to the Joann.com website and you roll down or scroll down all the way to the bottom. There is a tab down there that says contact us, and you can contact them and ask them. You can also ask them not to close. They need to know what stores to keep open and what stores to close. What usually happens in bankruptcy is they'll close their least producing stores. In other words, if there's no money in it, they're not going to keep it open. Okay? Now, when I went to our Joann's, I was a little disappointed because the store was kind of dirty and messy and not well taken care of. But also, they're cutting back on staff. And so the staff that usually cleans up, straightens, put things away, you know, they've cut back on that. Okay? So, the best advice I can give you is to support your local Joann store and talk to the people. Contact them, let them know not to close that store. Please don't close our store. And be active about it. As I say, be proactive. Get in there, talk to them, send them messages through that contact tab, and buy yarn. You know, if you need buttons, if you need craft supplies, go to your Joann's and get it, okay? Support your local Joann stores if you don't want it to close. Bankruptcy does not automatically mean they're closing all the stores. That's not what that means. And from what I was reading, go online and read some of the articles. From what I was reading, they're just going to be grouping, deciding which stores are their most producing ones and keeping those stores open, okay? I know it's awful. We don't want our craft stores to close, you know, and so, like I said, be proactive. All right, so let me show you what I did pick up at my local Joann's. Okay, this is some really interesting yarn. This is called, and this is not a brand new yarn, it's just new to me, okay? Yarnspirations, CARON, Colorama Halo. And it's called Perfect Phasing, and you can see it blends from like a darker orange to some gold to some light yellow to some lighter rose into a darker rose. And this one I got is blue. It's the same thing. And what it is, it's a bulky 5, and that's because of the fur on it. All right. The color of this one is ultramarine. The color of this one is magenta and mandarin. So it's like magenta and orange is mandarin orange. And they're really soft. They're beautiful. Oh, and they have 8 ounces, which is 481 yards, 71% acrylic, 18% nylon, 11% polyester. So you're getting the strength of the acrylic, the slickness of the nylon, and the shine of the polyester. It's a really great grouping of yarn. I mean, as far as the fibers, okay? And I think I've seen this at Michael's as well, but I wanted to get something at Joann's that I hadn't tried. Okay, now you could go to Yarnspirations or CARON and pick this up, meaning you could go to the website and order it, because there isn't a store, of course, here. But like I said, if you want to support your local Joann store, go there. Now, one of the things a lot of people love their big twist. I wasn't a fan. That's just me. But a lot of people really love it. And Joann's does have some really nice yarns. Okay? And if you love their yarns, you need to go and support them. Okay? Like I said, don't panic. Be proactive. Let them know. Don't close my store. And they still might if it's not a great producing store. The reality is, my Joann's is 35-40 minutes away. And so I don't go there as often as I did when I lived up in Colorado, where my Joann store was only like 10 minutes away. So, you know, I end up buying online a lot because, you know, my closest stores are Hobby Lobby and Walmart that carry yarn. The Michaels and the Joann's are clear across town. And Oklahoma City is a pretty large city. And we live on one side and it's clear on the other side. I actually wrote Michaels and asked them to please put a Michaels in over here in the Yukon Mustang area, because there isn't one over here and it's 30 minutes to get to the other store. I never heard back, of course. But you can do that sort of thing as well. All right. So anyway, that's what I picked up. I really love it, and I'm looking forward. I have something I want to do with these two, because aren't they cute? They're just so pretty. And then this one I have something I'm going to do with also. I just bought the 3. They were buy 2, get 1 free, and so I thought I have a purpose specific I'm going to do with these, and then this is an extra. All righty. So, I did also want to tell you something. I forgot that I wanted to tell you something, and that the Sunday was Maximo and Rosie's birthday. Now, we don't know for sure when Maximo and Rosie were born. Rosie, we do. She was actually born on the 18th, which was yesterday of March. But Max, we weren't sure exactly. And my niece, who I was watching at the time when I got Max and Rosie, her birthday is March 17th. We used to call her our little leprechaun, but she turned 21 this year, so she's not our little leprechaun anymore. But anyway, she decided that since that was her birthday, Max and Rosie's birthday was the same. And so, roughly speaking, Rosie is now 15 years old, and Maximo is 16 years old. I was going to bring them up here with me and show you. Max was not having it. He growled at me and dove under his cover. Okay? Don't worry, he won't bite me. He's just telling me, leave me alone, Mama. And Rosie is sound asleep, and you can probably hear her. She does this thing that sounds like this. She doesn't snore. Max snores like an old grumpy man. Max is an old grumpy man. And if you don't know my dogs, Maximo is the white Chihuahua with the little black ears, and Rosie is the red Chihuahua that looks like the Taco Bell Chihuahua. And you've probably seen him in some of my pictures. But anyway, it's their birthday. Heidi said it's her husband's birthday too. Happy birthday. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that before we get into all our other stuff. Okay, so last week for our this and that video, we talked about multiples. And if you'll notice, when I was talking about multiples, excuse me, I looked at the wrong thing that I was pointing at and I gave you the wrong number. But either way, I showed you what a multiple is. Tomorrow we're doing a this and that video having to do with, is it a bobble? Is it a popcorn stitch? Is it a puff stitch? Is it a cluster? What is it? Okay, but what I want to do next week is I want to revisit the multiples, because I had a lot of people ask me how to figure out a multiple on a pattern that it doesn't give it to you, and how to, if you've done too many stitches, how to pull that out and all of that stuff. So we're going to do, tomorrow's video is going to be on, like I said, bobble stitches, popcorn stitches, puff stitches, and cluster stitches. We're going to talk about that. And then next week's video, it's going to be multiples 0.2 or 2.0, you know, because we're going to talk about that again so that I can answer some more questions about that. Multiples are one of those things that they can be really tricky because a pattern doesn't just have, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, unless it's a basic pattern of single crochets or, double crochets. It doesn't have any, V stitches or shell stitches or open spots or things like that. And so it's hard to figure it out if you want to go wider. Longer is easy. You can just do more rows usually. All right. And so we're going to do that next Tuesday or next Wednesday's this or that video. But every week, I have to tell you, every week I get people that talk to me and send me messages and emails trying to understand the difference between a popcorn stitch and a puff stitch, or a bobble stitch and a cluster stitch, or a cluster stitch. And it's really, really confusing. And what doesn't help is the way I learned them was old school way. And a lot of these new crocheters, nothing against them, but they're calling them the wrong names. And they're in their patterns. And so it can be confusing sometimes. It's not really wrong if they want to call it that. It's just not what it's been known as for, hundreds of years, And like I said, I learned, when I was 13, I'm 61 now. So that tells you how long ago I learned this stuff. And so I was doing a little bit of a refresher course, and I was talking to my daughter last night because she came over last night, and I was telling her, do you know the difference between a popcorn stitch and a bobble? And she said, well, no, not really. She said, I always have to look it up. I can never remember. And my daughter's been crocheting for over 20, maybe 30 years. Let's see. My daughter's 40, so she's 41. So she's probably been crocheting about 21 years. And she said she has to look it up. And she designs beautiful patterns for babies. So, it's something that's... Anywho, I'm going to try to take the mystery out of it on tomorrow's this and that video, okay? And I hope it will help you. I'm going to do a demo on all three of the bobble, the popcorn, and the puff stitch, and explain what a cluster is, and that will help you as well as just have some fun with it. And I wanted to do the tutorial, that way you can practice it and see which one you like better, okay? So, last week we did multiples. Tomorrow we're doing bobbles, clusters, popcorn stitches. And then next Wednesday we're going to do multiples 2.0. Okay? Alrighty. Just to kind of clear that up a little bit, because I'm telling you, I get so many questions about multiples and so many questions about bobbles and puff stitches and stuff that I thought if I just get that video out there, when people ask me, I can just give them that link and then they can go there and look at it. Because it's really hard to explain some of this stuff. Like, I'll get a question on a comment on YouTube, and it's super hard to explain this stuff when you're just doing comments on YouTube or comments on Facebook or on Twitter or, Instagram. It's just really hard. And to be honest with you, I don't really answer messages on Instagram because Instagram is so spammy right now that I just don't answer messages on Instagram. So if you have a really, really important question and you really feel like you need to ask it, you're like, oh, I need to know this answer, message me either on the Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page, or go to my website and send me an email through that contact tab. Okay? That's the easiest way that you can get a question answered, because I have it turned off on my blog because it was getting so many silly spam and, junk questions. And that's the way Instagram is right now also. And I have my Instagram. I post on it a couple times a day. But the questions and the stuff I get that is so spammy is frustrating. And Facebook's getting that way as well. They're not catching it anymore, and I don't know why. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Alrighty, so let's talk about what patterns we did this week. And just a reminder, give me 2 seconds. My throat's just dry from that allergy pill that I took. Okay, so just to answer the question, all the patterns that I show you on YouTube are my designs. I designed them. I wrote the patterns. I took the pictures. They're all mine, you know. And every pattern on YouTube, except for some we did like 8 years ago when I first started, some of those we have not done written patterns for, and we've been working on that. I think we're just about caught up. But if you get one that's if you're looking at a video from about 8 years ago, always check underneath that video to see if there's been an updated video. Because what we try to do is for every video that we put out there, I write a written pattern with a photo tutorial. And underneath every one of those videos, if you click that link underneath it, and I showed you last week how to find it, it'll say crochet pattern link, and then it'll have a link. And you can click that link and it'll take you over to the blog. It has more information sometimes because I try to give you as much information as possible on the video. But sometimes I forget to say something or it gets smoothed over somewhere somehow. And so if you're looking for information, underneath there, if you click that link, it'll take you to my blog. And it has the whole pattern written out. Now, even if you don't read patterns, it will give you a lot of information, like the sizing, how many rows equal an inch, or how, you know, if there's a multiple for it. All of that stuff is on that blog, as well as lots of pictures, because sometimes, even though I'm working it right there in front of you, if you see a picture, because I try to do one picture per row or round, and sometimes if it's a little more intricate, I might do 2 or 3. And sometimes videos where we're changing colors, I'll show you a couple of pictures of how to do that color change. And even though you see that on live on a video, sometimes it helps to see a still picture. And so that's why I tell you to go check that link out, because it will give you so much more information. And I know that I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this rude in any way, but I think a lot of times people ask me questions without watching even the beginning of the video, because if you would just watch the first 2 to 3 minutes of the video, it'll answer all your questions that you ask for the most part. Because usually do I have to use this kind of yarn? Can I use that kind of yarn? How do I adjust this? Or what hook do I use? Or all of that stuff. I try to give you a ton of information, either on the video or on that link. Okay? Having said that, moving right along. All right, let me show you what we did this week. We did this carrot. And this is a carrot made out of the Parfait pom-pom. It is either a stuffy, just for decorations, or when you put your ribbon in, you can, instead of adding stuffing, add candy or goodies, maybe a gift card or some cash. And it'd be super fun to make these. And if you have say an Easter egg hunt, put some of these out there too. It'd be a lot of fun. And people, oh, I found a carrot. What's inside? You know, so they're a lot of fun. And this is a bulky 6 yarn. So if you don't have the pom-pom yarn, you can use a bulky 6 blanket yarn or velvet yarn, or hold 3 medium weight number 4 strands of yarn together. And it will get you a nice, thick, big carrot. Isn't that the cutest thing? I just love it. I think this one measures 12 inches. I don't have the paperwork with me on this one, but you can click it. The videos for these patterns that I showed you today, they're underneath this video as well. So if you don't know where to find what we're looking at today, pattern-wise, you can find the link underneath this video. Okay? All right, so we did that, and then we did our Scrap Happy project. And we made these adorable floppy-eared bunnies. Isn't that the cutest thing? This one's already been played with. It's a little... This is the one we did for the demo, and it's already been played with and thrown around the house last night. But I did it so that you could understand that you don't have to use this exact size yarn. This one is a lot bigger. This one is done with bulky number 5. This one is done with bulky number 6 blanket yarns. And these are just leftover yarns that I had on hand. I used a thicker bow. And you can see even the flower is much bigger. And there's the button. And they're just so cute and squishy. And I did them without any arms or legs. And they're just fun. Floppy ears. And then, of course, I put the tail over towards the back of the side so that you could see it when you set it up for a decoration. I just love them. I do. I love them so much. And yes, it makes a great decoration if you set them up together with the carrot. Because you know, bunnies like carrots. All right, so that is our scrap happy floppy eared bunny. Now, on the pattern and in the video, I tell you what hook to use for the 2 different size weight, bulky 5 and bulky 6. Now, if you don't have those, you can always double up your medium weight number 4 to 2 for the bulky 5 to 3 for the bulky 6. But if you want to just use 1 strand of medium weight number 4, you can go down to your H hook, which is your 5mm, and follow the pattern exactly, and you'll get one that's approximately 10 inches. This one is 12, not counting the ears, and this one is 14 inches tall. Okay, and so it would be really cute to make 1 and 3 sizes and have them sitting up there together, like on your desk or on the, the top of the fireplace or wherever you're going to decorate for Easter. I think they'd also be super fun to make a whole bunch of them, and like if you have kids come over for, like, say, Easter Sunday, give them to them. Or if you're having a party and you got a bunch of people coming over, use them for prizes. Play some games. Or even stick them out with your Easter egg hunt. Because you used your scrap yarns. And although I chose to use as much of my sort of spring colors as possible, they don't have to be. You could do it all in white or all in brown and make it just look like a regular bunny with a white cotton tail. Whatever you want to do. Have some fun with it. Use your scrap yarns. Because usually when I do a scrap happy project, we're either doing one particular kind of yarn fiber and one particular kind of, using one crochet hook. So I thought I would just mix it up, give you a chance just to get in your yarn stash and just have a great time. Because I think crochet should be fun. And I think you should enjoy making them. When I get to make a toy like this, it's so much fun. And not that, like, this blanket behind me wasn't fun. It was fun. But knowing that you're going to make a toy that kids are going to play with, super fun. The only other thing that I want to mention is that these do have safety eyes, the plastic eyes. If you're going to make these for a small child, or you have a dog that might chew those out, and I do show you how to put that in a stitch so they're nice and secure. But kids are tricky. They'll pull those suckers out. So if you have a small child, I really recommend that you either make some French knots or just crochet a little circle for the eyes. Or there are lots of different kinds of eyes online that you can find to make without using safety eyes. I love safety eyes. I think they're fun. This one has nice, great big ones. And I think they're fun. Actually, I had some blue ones I was going to use. But when I went to use it, what I did is I bought a pack that has a whole big amount of eyes. And I had these blue ones. I was going to put those on the big one. But when I pulled it out of the pack, the back was already on it. And I can't get it off. And so my husband's going to have to take it off. So this one didn't get to have blue eyes. But I bought a pack online off Amazon that had a big assortment of different size safety eyes. I don't know who I bought it from. But you can go on Amazon and find it. Because everybody's looking for safety eyes. They have sparkly ones and they have, plain ones. These are all black, brown, blue, and green. I'm trying to get them all back in the bag. Okay, I'll do that later. They don't want to go back in. But I was really disappointed because there's only one set of blue ones and I wanted to put the blue ones on the bunny. But that one had the back already on it. My husband can probably get that off. I'm not strong enough. So hopefully he can do that. But yeah, I think there's a lady on Etsy that sells them also, but I found them cheaper on Amazon. And it's just a big assortment of the safety eyes that have the fronts and the backs. And there's some little teeny tiny ones and some great big ones. I think the blue ones were about the biggest. But the black ones that I put on this one, these are actually just a solid black. But this one is brown. I don't know if you can see that. See how it has brown around the edges? And I think that's kind of fun to have, you know, different kinds of eyes. But there are some that have like the sparkly edges and stuff like that on there also. But I just thought it was really inexpensive just to buy that bag. I think there were 50 sets, which would be 100 eyes in the bag. I think it was only like $9 or $10. And we have free shipping, so the shipping was free. Okay, let me see if I forgot anything else. Like my singing? I think I've covered everything on here. Don't forget to swing over to Pamela's Adoring Crochet and check out her YouTube. Like I said, she does a lot of doll clothes. And she did some Easter dresses for 14-inch. And she does, I think they're 14, 16, and 18-inch dolls. Or maybe 14 and 18. I know the 18 is the size that fit American, the American dolls. And the 14, I think, is like the ones that you get at either Target or Walmart that are similar. My granddaughters have both. I have tons of dolls, actually, of the American Girl dolls. I did this thing where I was buying them one every year for their birthday. And finally, my granddaughter said, she said, "Oma, I have about 40. I think it's time to stop." So now I buy her nail polish and makeup. But she still loves her dolls. She loves the American Girl dolls because she collects them. But anyway, let's see. We talked about Joann's. We talked about it being the first day of spring. We talked about everything else. So anyway, I think that's everything. Did you know that Mel, the little heart's covering, I can't see, but the voice of Bugs Bunny. You know, I'm going to say this, you probably don't believe me, but I didn't grow up with a TV in our house. My mom didn't want one. She was very musically inclined, and we did a lot of singing around the piano and a lot of reading. And I did not grow up with a TV, so I never really watched Bugs Bunny or Brady Bunch or Leave It to Beaver or all those things until after I was married. At Christmas time, I'd go over to my friend's house and we would watch some of the Christmas specials. But I had never seen like the movie White Christmas because we didn't go to movies either. My mom didn't have a lot of money and we just didn't spend a lot of money on things. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, I didn't grow up with a TV. And so I don't watch a lot of TV. Even now, I think I watch mostly American like Hallmark movies, or I have been watching some reruns on Netflix of some other shows. So, but yeah, I never really watched Bugs Bunny all that much or any of those kinds of cartoons. Someone was talking about Gilligan's Island the other day. I'm like, I'm going to have to go find out what this is. Because I never watched any of that stuff. Sorry. That's probably why I crocheted so much when I was little and did a lot of crafts, because I just stayed busy doing other things. But anywho, that is everything. Don't forget, if you know our winner, Carlina Shear, let her know she won. If not, I hope she'll watch this later. I did not see her name. I was looking forward to see if she'd swing by. Alrighty. Now, I will say this. I do love to promote and talk about other YouTube channels. Like I said, be their cheerleader. So if you know of some, and I'm not talking about ones that have like, hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm looking for people who are newer or maybe don't have a lot of subscribers, and we want to just help them out because you like them. Just go ahead and post the link in the comments underneath, and I'll find it and check it out, okay? Because, like I said, there were a lot of them that I used to follow, and I can't find them anymore. I don't know if they've gone off YouTube, and some of them haven't posted in a couple years. And I know during COVID, a lot of people were on YouTube and making new thing, trying to make some money that way. And I don't have any problem with that. But after COVID stopped, they stopped. And so I really want to promote those who are still, doing what I'm doing. And people who are real, to people who are fun and stuff like that. All right? Alrighty. So I'm going to let you go with that. I want you all to have a great spring day. And get outside. Enjoy it, even if it's a little bit cold.